Happy Place, another Saturday summer session. This time I would like to encourage you to get outdoors and take some photos. It could be done easily with your phone of landscapes, and start thinking about how you perceive landscape, how your eye is looking at elements of landscapes where you are outdoors. So what we're going to be working with, it's called atmospheric drawing, where you put more value and contrast and details at things that are in front of you, things that are close to you, and the things that are far away from you. You start having more like a blurred imaginary, and everything is fading away. So it's very simple visual activity, but it can be done with family members, and it can take you ages. It can take you 5 minutes. Really depends how far you want to take it. So have fun, enjoy, and I'm looking forward to what you create. It's also a good activity where you sit somewhere outdoors. So very, very summerish. Have fun. Bye bye. Okay, so in this project I would like to show you how to work in with the concept of atmospheric drawing. It's a very simple concept, and you can work with it in a variety of ways. You can repeat it. It is very creative. I just show you the basic concept with pencil drawings, and you may want to use different mediums if you wish to. So I'm working with just the standard pencils from soft to hard range, but you may work just with one pencil if that's the one if you only have one, or you may want to decide to work with something with pencil that comes from harder grade like H2H, and then one from softer range like 4,6B for the contrast. So let me just tell you about the concept. So we will be working on a landscape, and we'll be just employing the concept of visual perception, of human eye perception of the landscape into the drawing. So when you look at the landscape from a distance, everything that's close to you, everything that's close to your eye has more contrast, has more details, and it's sharp in terms of seeing those details. Everything that's far away, the image gets blurred and soft, and the colors, the values fade away, and you see more, less and less details. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to work with the image, very, very simple image of overlapping mountains from imagination, but feel free to grab a photo, or maybe a photo you took on a phone, maybe from the family trip, or something from the magazine image. I think it'd be quite good if you have a family trip this summer. You take some photos and then you can use that. Okay, so let's get started. I'm just starting by outlining simple. In terms of paper as well, work on whatever you've got. I've got this kind of cream paper here, just wanted to use it. I'll be working with just simple concept of overlapping hills or little mountains. So I'm just kind of outlining where they would be. Now this concept you can use in any kind of landscape. Would that be sea, mountains, beach, landscape in any season as well. So the main concept is everything that's closer. So I have this big triangle like a mountain here, this one here, then this one coming here and here. Everything closer is stronger in contrast, so you can see dark and lights, and stronger in terms of details. The more you move away from your eyes, things get fade out. So I'll be using my soft pencils for filling those hills with dark values and quite visible patterns, and then every time I move away, I'll be using less contrast, lighter colors and less details. So if I start with this one, I may want to make it really dark. Again, that depends what you're working with. Okay, so that's quite dark and visible. I went over the area a few times, and I'm using slightly different pencil for this one, but that's still very, very close. So again, I want to have variation of mark making techniques. So this one, I'm just using it more line kind of pattern, but again, I'll be going over and over to make it darker. Because this one is closer to my eye, I want those lines to be quite visible. Okay, that's my second one. So those ones are the closest. Now moving to this area here. This is not as close to me as those two. So I have to start making the contrast of value. So how dark and light it is, a bit lighter. Not too light because I still have a few layers to go, but visibly lighter. So I'm using here H pencil. If you don't have H pencils, just use less pressure. Now it may take few attempts. I may have to go back to this and make it darker, then maybe make the front ones darker. It's just about relationships, you know, how dark and light gradually I can make it looking at the layers. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to work on this drawing now, and when I finish or almost finish, to show you how those layers work together, because it is about going back and forth with your pencil and creating those different values, which means dark and light. But you can see now this is slowly kind of coming together. I feel I need to make this one darker. Okay, let me work on that and I come back with a piece that's got more on it. Okay, so when you get to this stage, when you have your layers going from dark to light, so you can see it builds up that depth, things that are closer to you or darker, then you can experiment with detail and pattern. So you can add some patterns. And again, follow the same principle. Everything that's in front of you, that's got more details visible to your eye, and then it's fading away, so you won't have many details in the things that are far away. So that is optional, but have a go and see what happens. So here I wanted to show you I started adding details. Again, you could take it to a really detailed work if you wanted. So I added some squiggle lines, which is more like giving it texture. This bit I made more looking like a road with maybe some kind of hedge or bushes along. Added some lines here, made this line more defined. So it is really up to you. You can take it as far as you want. It's a good project for the family as well, everyone doing a different part. Just remember about the visual principles and start exploring and experimenting with them. Have fun!